Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. William Saliba could now be the next to extend his Arsenal contract after Bukayo Saka. William Saliba could be the next Arsenal player to agree a new contract after Bukayo Saka. The Athletic report that the England international has not signed a new deal yet, but it's all in place and he will commit his future to the club. That is a major boost and comes on the back of Gabriel Martinelli putting pen to paper on a new deal earlier this year. Saliba is now in the final of the three first teamers whose contract situations needed sorting, and they report he could follow suit to Saka. They claim he has made positive noises about signing the extension after a fantastic maiden season in English football as Arsenal have flown to the top of the Premier League. Alan Shearer put Saliba in his Premier League team of the season ahead of Newcastle's Sven Botman when named his 11 for the Athletic. Shearer said, "It seems unfair to leave out their teammate Sven Botman, but Saliba has been superb. Arsenal have been incredible, the league's outstanding team, and they are represented through the spine of my side in William Saliba, Martin Odegaard, and Bukayo Saka. There could have been others too, such as Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey." Saliba is absolutely vital to Arsenal and has given their defense a new dimension in terms of his recovery pace and calmness on the ball. If he put pen to paper on a new deal soon, it would continue the dream season Arsenal are having, which they hope will end in Premier League glory. Romano shares exciting Saka contract update. Arsenal have reportedly reached a verbal agreement to extend Bukayo Saka's contract at the Emirates Stadium. On Thursday afternoon, the Daily Mail claimed that the Gunners were closing in on a new deal for the 21-year-old. As per Sami Mukbal's report, Saka has told Arsenal he wants to stay at the club long term. The principle of an agreement are believed to be in place, said the report, with all parties now working on resolving smaller details of the contract. The report also claimed Saka's new Arsenal deal would be worth in excess of £200,000 a week. Inclusive of bonuses, this would likely make the England international the Gunners' highest paid player. Now Fabrizio Romano has just provided a further update on the Saka contract reports. The transfer insider took to Twitter to say he understood the player's new contract would run until 2028. Romano wrote, "It's not signed yet, but it will get done. Saka only always wanted to stay." Amazing news and a great fresh update for Arsenal fans. The original report spoke of a long term deal, and now Romano says it will be a further 5 years. Arsenal are doing superbly on the pitch this season, and it's leading to long term contract extensions for their top talents. Gabriel Martinelli has already committed his future to the Gunners, and now Saka looks set to follow. Hopefully, it won't be long until Arsenal release the official announcement, and there will be huge celebrations among the fan base when that happens. Mikel Arteta and Edu have needed a few years to get the Gunners back on track. It has not been easy, but now Arsenal's future continues to look brighter and brighter. Mikel Arteta says he just loves coaching Mohamed Elneny. Mikel Arteta has conducted his pre-match press conference before Arsenal face Leicester City tomorrow afternoon. Earlier this week, Mohamed Elneny signed a new contract extending his time at the club for another season until the summer of 2024. Arteta was asked about that news and he hailed the 30-year-old who is a valuable and popular member of his squad. He said of the news, "It's totally deserved. It's an absolute joy to have him at the club, and I think what the club has done is absolutely brilliant. It's not just words saying we value the people we have and we are going to stick with people in difficult moments." Mohammed had a very difficult moment a few weeks ago when he had a pretty serious injury, and the club committed to him for what he gives to the team and what he's done for this football club. I think it's a really strong message for everyone at the club to keep our best people and our best players with us in challenging moments. The Egyptian was a wanted man, according to Fabrizio Romano, who revealed in his daily briefing on count of sides, as we reported yesterday here on the channel. Watts shares whether Martinelli or Trossard could start for Arsenal at Leicester. Charles Watts has backed Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta to reinstate Gabriel Martinelli to the Gunners' starting 11 this weekend. Arsenal return to Premier League action with a trip to Leicester City and a 3 p.m. GMT kick-off this Saturday. The Gunners will be hoping to make it two consecutive wins after last weekend's dramatic 4-2 win at Aston Villa. In that game, Arteta opted to drop Martinelli and name Leandro Trossard in his starting 11 in Birmingham. The January signing delivered a fairly average performance before Martinelli came on in his place. Meanwhile, the Brazil international made a huge difference, scoring and causing Villa's defenders no end of problems. Arsenal's win was a huge result, particularly as Manchester City then stumbled to a 1-1 draw at Nottingham Forest. Now, with another tricky away fixture on the horizon, Arteta has a big decision to make in attack. Watts, speaking on his YouTube channel, tipped the Arsenal boss to opt for Martinelli ahead of Trossard. Martinelli is an incredible talent, but prior to the Villa game, there were calls for him to drop out of the starting 11. He had suffered a downturn in form, suggesting that he needed a bit of a breather. As it turned out, naming Martinelli on the subs bench proved a masterstroke from Arteta. The Brazilian looked so much more refreshed when he came on, very much back to his best. Although it wasn't Trossard's finest game, the fact Arteta could start him and rest Martinelli shows why strength and depth is so important. This has been an incredibly difficult season with regards to player workload, what with the mid-season World Cup. Ian Wright thinks Gabriel Jesus' return will fire up 21-year-old Arsenal player. Arsenal legend Ian Wright believes Gabriel Jesus' imminent return from injury will really fire up his young compatriot Gabriel Martinelli. Jesus joined the Gunners from Manchester City last summer for £45 million. He completely transformed this Arsenal side and is one of the biggest reasons why they are challenging for the title. The Brazilian, however, hasn't played a game for the Gunners since the World Cup because of a knee injury, but he is expected to be back very, very soon. Arsenal have been absolutely brilliant since the start of the season, and their electric front three of Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, and Bukayo Saka caused defenders all sorts of problems in the first half of the campaign. Since Jesus' injury, however, Saka has been the man carrying Arsenal. Martinelli hasn't been bad by any means, but the 21-year-old Brazil international just hasn't been the same as he was before. That may just be down to a dip in form, but Jesus' absence could also be a big factor. Martinelli and his compatriot combined incredibly well in the first half of the campaign. They constantly interchanged positions, made decoy runs to free up space for each other, and just confused opposition defenders with their movement. Wright is excited to see Jesus return to action, and the Arsenal legend believes Martinelli could benefit massively once the Gunners' number 9 comes back. He said on the Wright's House podcast, Jesus returning is going to be a massive boost. When he comes back, that's going to fire up Martinelli even more. I think Martinelli is the one that has missed out more with Jesus missing. Arsenal haven't officially announced when Jesus will be back in action, but it will soon be 3 months since his surgery, and there is hope he could be back in action early next month. Football London have backed that and revealed Jesus is indeed due to return in March. That definitely rules him out of the game against Leicester City this weekend. But Arsenal play on the 1st and 4th of March against Everton and Bournemouth, respectively. Gunners fans will be hoping Jesus will be back for one of those games. James Madison doubtful for Leicester versus Arsenal. Arsenal could be set to take on a Leicester City side missing James Madison on Saturday afternoon. The Gunners take on the Foxes in a 3 p.m. kick-off in the Premier League, hoping to make it 2 wins in a row. Mikel Arteta's Chargers got back to winning ways last week with a dramatic 4-2 triumph away at Aston Villa. Arsenal's win put them 2 points clear at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Leicester followed up their 4-1 hammering of Tottenham with a 3-0 loss at Manchester United. The last time Arsenal and Leicester played was back in August. Madison scored for the Foxes on that day, though it proved a mere consolation as the Gunners ran out 4-2 winners. Now, the 2016 Premier League champions could be without one of their key players due to a persistent knee issue. On Thursday, Brendan Rodgers confirmed that the £110,000 a week ace will be monitored in the lead up to the game. Arsenal will have to work hard to overcome Leicester, a team that can be very dangerous on their day. However, should Madison not be available, that will be a boost for the Gunners and a huge blow for the host. The sensational player is Leicester's main source of creativity and would likely be a thorn in Arsenal's side if he plays. Madison has been linked with a move to the Emirates Stadium before, which is testament to his quality. That's obviously on the back burner for now, as Arsenal will look to thwart a tricky opponent on Saturday. The Gunners will be able to go 5 points clear of Manchester City if they triumph at the King Power Stadium. Fabrizio Romano shares Ivan Indika update amid Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool links. Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur, and Liverpool are just three of the clubs reportedly wanting to sign Ivan Indika this summer. Journalist Ryan Taylor suggested in January that Mikel Arteta's Gunners will attempt to land the defender on a free transfer this summer. Meanwhile, 90 Minute recently claimed Antonio Conte's Spurs are also hoping to sign Indika at the end of the season. And CBS journalist Ben Jacobs told the Football Terrace that Jurgen Klopp's Reds are in the race for the Eintracht Frankfurt star. Dika's current contract expires at the end of the season, and he is yet to pen an extension. This is likely to spark a mad chase for his signature as Europe's elite look to land themselves a bargain. There have been reports suggesting Barcelona had won the race for Indika's services. However, in a boost to Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool, Fabrizio Romano has stressed that this is not the case. The transfer insider has taken to Twitter with the latest on the Ndika race. Romano says the player remains open to proposals and is expected to leave Eintracht on a free this summer. He also reiterated that it's not a done deal with Barcelona at this stage and that the race is still open. Great news for Arsenal, our rival Tottenham, Liverpool, and all of Ndika's other suitors except Barca for now at least. It will surely be a hotly contested race for the 23-year-old, whose stock has risen massively in the last few years. Despite his young age, Dika already has over 150 appearances for Frankfurt in all competitions. Indeed, his efforts helped the club win the Europa League last season, and this term, Frankfurt are in the Champions League last 16. Dika is talented, has a high ceiling, is physically imposing, and can play at left back as well as centre back. Fabrizio Romano shares update on Rasmus Højlund amid Arsenal links. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move to sign Atalanta's Rasmus Højlund over the last few days, and Fabrizio Romano has now shared what he knows about the rumors. Mikel Arteta's men always have an eye on talented young players across the globe. We are sure they are aware of Højlund's incredible talent and potential as well, but are they really interested in signing him? Romano has had his say. Spanish outlet Sport revealed this week that Arsenal and Real Madrid are in a transfer war for the signature of Højlund in the upcoming summer transfer window. The talented Dane, who is still only 20, joined Atalanta just last summer. Ladia paid £15 million for him, and they are guaranteed to make a big profit whenever they sell him. Arsenal fans were beyond excited when they read reports that their club are interested in signing Højlund, who has been compared to Manchester City star Erling Haaland. Fabrizio Romano, however, just does not think this is true. The journalist wrote for Count Offside on Substack. Rasmus Højlund has been linked with a move to Arsenal by various outlets. I am not sure he is going to leave Atalanta in 2023. I don't see Arsenal as an option for Højlund. They have Gabriel Jesus, Edin Ketia, and Folarin Balogun. For sure, Højlund wants to play, not to be on the bench. I am told he could stay at Atalanta for one more year. Well, this move never seemed realistic, did it? Yes, Arsenal transfers policy is to sign talented young players, and yes, Gunners supporters would have loved the new Haaland at their club, but with Gabriel Jesus and Edin Ketia already at the helm and Folarin Balogun set to come back from his incredible loan spell in the summer, they don't really need another striker. Romano believes there is a chance Haaland will stay at Atalanta for another season. That could work out perfectly for Arsenal, who could end up looking for a striker in 2024 if one, Nketiah or Balogun, or both fail to live up to expectations. Hoyland would be an interesting option then if he continues to progress, but as things stand, Arsenal are not in the race to sign him. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.